the power to completely revolutionize your life in ways you have never imagined possible. Consider for a moment the concept of time. You may perceive it as a linear progression, with change occurring gradually over days, weeks, or years. But I say unto you, true transformation, the kind that alters the very fabric of your reality, can occur in a single night, in a single moment of focused imagination and unwavering belief. But what does it truly mean to say that you will never be the same again after just one night? It is not a matter of external circumstances magically changing while you sleep. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in your very being that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your consciousness, your awareness of being, is the only reality, and that a profound shift in this awareness can and will transform your entire world. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your concept of self. And this concept of self can be radically altered in a single night through the power of your imagination. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and vividly imagining a new state of being for a single night, you are actively creating a new reality that will unfold in your experience. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach change and transformation. No longer are you a helpless being at the mercy of time and circumstance, hoping for gradual improvement. You become the active creator of your reality, knowing that as you assume a new state of being in your imagination, for a single night, the universe must rearrange itself to match this new inner assumption. But how, you may ask, can one night have such a profound and lasting impact? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination, combined with the intensity of your feeling and belief. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your imaginal acts. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality, regardless of how long it takes in clock time. So when you spend a single night wholly absorbed in the feeling of being your ideal self, when you fall asleep in the absolute conviction that you are now the person you desire to be, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your new reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of how one night can change everything. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious imaginal acts. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner concept of self, which can be radically altered in a single focused night of imagination. Consider the biblical phrase, "In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall all be changed." This is not a mere poetic expression or a promise of some future event. It is a statement of cosmic law, an invitation to recognize the power of a single moment of transformed consciousness. When you truly embody a new state in your imagination, when you feel this reality with every fiber of your being, you are changed in that very moment. The outer manifestation may take time to catch up, but the inner transformation is instantaneous. But let me be clear, this one night of transformation is not about forced visualizations or strained affirmations. It is about a total immersion in the feeling of being your ideal self. When you truly embody this practice, you naturally assume the thoughts, feelings, and inner conversations of the person you desire to be. You go to sleep not as the person you've always been, but as the person you've always wanted to be. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person who has always struggled with confidence and self-worth. For years, their inner dialogue has been filled with self-doubt and limitation. Now, imagine this person deciding to spend one night fully embodying the state of unshakable confidence and self-assurance. As they lie in bed, they immerse themselves in the feeling of being a confident, worthy individual. They feel the peace, the certainty, the inner strength of someone who truly believes in themselves. They allow this feeling to permeate every cell of their being. They fall asleep in this state, carrying it into their dreams. When they awaken, something has shifted. They may not see immediate external changes, but internally, they are no longer the same person. They have experienced the reality of being confident and worthy, and this new self-concept begins to reshape their outer world. In the days and weeks that follow, they find themselves naturally acting with more confidence. They speak up in situations where they would have previously remained silent. They pursue opportunities they would have once thought beyond their reach. And as they do so, their outer world begins to reflect this new inner state. People respond to them differently. New doors open. Their entire life begins to transform, all stemming from that one night of focused imagination. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you desire success, love, health, or any other state of being, the key is to spend one night fully embodying that state in your imagination. Feel the reality of being successful, loved, healthy. Fall asleep in that state, knowing that as you do so, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must grow into your outer reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, can one night really make such a difference? Surely lasting change requires more time and effort. And to this I say, time is an illusion of the physical world. In the realm of consciousness where all creation takes place, there is only the eternal now. One night of fully embodying a new state can indeed reshape your entire future. For it plants a seed of a new self-concept that will inevitably grow into manifestation. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness, your concept of self, that gives life to your experiences. When you spend one night fully embodying a new state of being, you are breathing life into a new reality. You are setting in motion a series of events that must culminate in the outer expression of this new inner state. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to how one night can change everything. It is about aligning your entire being with a new concept of self, recognizing that this new self is seeking expression through you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your focused imagination and unwavering belief. But let me warn you, this one night of transformation is not always an easy task. The old habits of thought and feeling, the familiar self-concept you've held for so long, may try to reassert themselves. As you lie in bed, attempting to embody your new, ideal state, doubts may creep in. The voice of your old self may try to convince you that change is impossible, that you're fooling yourself. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to the feeling of your new desired state of being. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently embodying what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining your new state of being throughout the night, in the face of doubts and contrary evidence, is what allows you to truly change your life in a single night. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away doubts and fears. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of your desired state of being to align your entire consciousness with the person you wish to become. This tuning is done through your focused imagination and your ability to generate and maintain the feeling of your desired state. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your imagination to fully embody your ideal state, as you feel the reality of being this new version of yourself, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, while the inner transformation can occur in a single night, the full manifestation of this change in your outer world may take time. The seed planted in one night of focused imagination will grow, but it must go through its natural stages of development. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate, dramatic changes in your external circumstances. Know that the moment you succeeded in fully embodying your new state, even for that one night, change became inevitable. As you persist in maintaining this new state in your daily life, you will find that your perception of yourself and your world begins to shift. What once seemed like limitations now appear as opportunities for growth. Challenges become stepping stones to success. You begin to see yourself as the empowered, ideal being you imagined yourself to be on that transformative night. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I ensure that I maintain this new state beyond that one night? How can I prevent falling back into old patterns? And to this I say the power of that one night lies not just in the intensity of the experience, but in the knowing it brings. Once you have experienced the reality of your ideal state, even if only in your imagination, you have tasted the truth of your divine nature. This knowing becomes an anchor, a reference point to which you can always return. In the days and weeks that follow your transformative night, you may face moments of doubt or challenge. In these moments, recall the feeling of that night. Remember the reality of being your ideal self. Let that memory, that knowing, guide you back to your new state of being. For having experienced it once, you can experience it again and again, each time strengthening your new self-concept. The key is to make your imaginal experience as real and vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. As you lie in bed preparing for your night of transformation, see yourself as the person you desire to be. Hear the congratulations and admiration of others. Feel the confidence, the joy, the fulfillment of being this ideal version of yourself. Make it so real that your rational mind cannot distinguish between this imaginal act and physical reality. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to imagine specific events or circumstances. The goal is to embody the essence of your desired state of being. For it is this state of being that is the true attractor of your experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of imagining yourself receiving a specific job offer or a particular sum of money, embody the state of being successful and financially abundant. Feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with this state. Instead of picturing a specific romantic partner, embody the state of being deeply loved and in a fulfilling relationship. Feel the love, the connection, the happiness of this state. By focusing on the state of being rather than specific outcomes, you allow the universe to bring your desires to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of transformation in a single night. It's not about forcing yourself to believe something against all evidence. It's about aligning your entire being with the truth of your divine nature, your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about spending one night fully embodying the highest vision of who you truly are. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to feel more confident and empowered, or you find yourself naturally making choices that align with your new self-concept, or opportunities that resonate with your new state of being seem to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner transformation, initiated in that one powerful night, is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small changes. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your night of transformation has taken root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your new state of being. As you persist in this practice, larger changes will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting experiences that align with your new self-concept. You may notice that your relationships improve, that your career takes off, that your health flourishes. And as you continue to maintain the state you embodied on that transformative night, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding possibilities. But remember, the outer manifestation is not the goal. The goal is the state of being from which all desired experiences naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you've truly transformed in that one night, when you're fully living from your new state of being, you no longer need external circumstances to confirm your transformation. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are the person you've imagined yourself to be. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life that reflects your ideal self-concept. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to bring about change? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you've spent a night fully embodying your ideal state, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions, to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. They will be the natural outgrowth of your new state of being. This is the difference between trying to make change happen and allowing it to happen. When you're trying to force transformation, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you've truly embodied a new state of being, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of your transformation. Consider the example of a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. The caterpillar doesn't strain to become a butterfly. It doesn't force itself to grow wings. It simply enters the cocoon and allows the transformation to occur. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you enter the cocoon of your imagination for that one transformative night, embodying your ideal state, you allow your transformation to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite potential that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate and focused embodiment of your ideal state. It requires faith, not blind faith in external circumstances, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your ability to transform in a single night. This faith is not about believing that change will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that the change has already occurred in that one night of transformation, and that your outer world must inevitably conform to this new inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in living from the state you embodied in that one night, you'll begin to see evidence of your transformation manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small. A newfound confidence in a situation that would have previously intimidated you, a flash of insight that leads to a breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity that aligns perfectly with your new self-concept. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner transformation initiated in that one powerful night is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the transformed life you have created. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on personal transformation in this way might somehow make them selfish or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of transformation through focused imagination, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your imaginal acts, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your personal transformation, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expands the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of being your ideal self, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a beacon of possibility, a living example of the power of consciousness to reshape reality. Your transformation creates a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your newfound energy, confidence, and joy. This is the true gift of transforming yourself in a single night. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless potential and perpetual creation. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of living from the transformation you experienced in that one powerful night, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from your transformed state of being. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the power. You are the magic. You are the one who has transformed yourself in that single, focused night of imagination. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, just one night, and you will never be the same again, is not just a technique for personal change. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine, creative being. It's about aligning your entire being with the fundamental truth of who you are and allowing your grandest expression to flow through you. When you live from this understanding, everything changes. The world becomes a friendly place filled with infinite possibilities. You no longer see yourself as a small, separate being struggling to change. Instead, you recognize yourself as the author of your own transformation, the creator of your own reality. In this state, there's no need to fear change or doubt your ability to transform, for you understand that you are the source of all transformation. Your job is simply to enter that state of focused imagination for one night, to live from that transformed consciousness, and to allow the universe to arrange the details of its manifestation. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to immerse yourself fully in your ideal state of being. Feel the naturalness of being the transformed, empowered being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this knowing, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner transformation. Remember, you are not a limited being struggling to change. You are the infinite consciousness, choosing to experience transformation from this particular vantage point. Your focused night of imagination is the tool through which you shape your experience. Use it wisely with the awareness of your true nature and the responsibility that comes with it. Go forth and create a transformed, fulfilling life that is your birthright, knowing that with each night spent in focused imagination of your ideal state, you are aligning more fully with the truth of your divine, limitless nature. Just one night can indeed change everything, for in that night, you remember who you truly are and set in motion the unfolding of your highest potential. Finally, I encourage you to approach this night of transformation with joy and anticipation. For you are not forcing change, but allowing your true self to emerge. You are not becoming someone new, but remembering who you have always been beneath the layers of limiting beliefs and old habits. In that one powerful night, you reclaim your divine birthright and step into the fullness of your being. And truly, after such a night, you will never be the same again.
My dear friends, our topic, to grow you must suffer, may at first seem paradoxical, even disheartening. But I assure you, within this statement lies the key to unlocking your greatest potential, to manifesting your deepest desires, and to truly realizing the divine nature that resides within you. Now, when I speak of suffering, I do not mean the needless pain that we often inflict upon ourselves through our misguided thoughts and beliefs. No, the suffering I speak of is the deliberate, conscious choice to step out of our comfort zones, to challenge our long-held assumptions, and to embrace the discomfort that inevitably comes with transformation. You see, my beloved, we are all God in disguise. We are the infinite consciousness that has taken on human form, and within us lies the power to create and shape our reality. But to fully realize this power, to truly embody our divine nature, we must be willing to shed our old selves, our limited beliefs, and our comfortable illusions. And this shedding, this transformation, inevitably involves a degree of suffering. Think for a moment of the caterpillar. In order to become the beautiful butterfly it is destined to be, it must first enter the chrysalis. Within this dark, confined space, it undergoes a complete transformation. Its old form literally dissolves. And from this dissolution, a new form emerges. Can you imagine the discomfort, the uncertainty, the sheer intensity of this process? Yet without this period of suffering, of dissolution and reformation, the caterpillar could never become the butterfly. We too must be willing to enter our own chrysalis. We must be willing to dissolve our old selves, our limiting beliefs, our comfortable but constraining identities. Only through this process can we emerge as the magnificent beings we truly are. But here's the crucial point, my dear friends. This suffering is not something that happens to us. It is something we choose. It is an act of will, a deliberate decision to grow, to evolve, to become more than we currently are. In this choice lies our power, our divinity, our ability to shape our own. Now you might be wondering, Neville, how can I choose to suffer? Isn't suffering something we naturally avoid? And to this I say, it all begins with your imagination. For as I have always taught, your imagination is the God within you. It is the creative power through which you shape your reality. So, I invite you now to close your eyes. Imagine yourself as you wish to be. See yourself embodying the qualities you desire, living the life you dream of. Feel the joy, the fulfillment, the sense of purpose that comes with this vision. Now, what I let go of to become this person? What comfortable illusions, what limiting beliefs? What aspects of my current self must I be willing to sacrifice? As you contemplate these questions, you may feel a sense of resistance, of fear, of discomfort. This, my beloved, is the suffering I speak of. It is the natural response of your current self to the prospect of change, of transformation. But remember, this suffering is not your enemy. It is the signpost pointing the way to your growth, to your evolution, to the realization of your true divine nature. Now, you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't this at odds with your teachings about the law of assumption? Haven't you always said that we should assume the feeling of our wish fulfilled? And to this I say, there is no contradiction. For in choosing to suffer for your growth, in willingly embracing the discomfort of transformation, you are in fact assuming the state of one who's committed to their evolution, who is willing to do whatever it takes to manifest their desired reality. You see, the law of assumption is not about avoiding all discomfort or difficulty. It's about aligning your thoughts, your feelings, your very being with the reality you wish to create. And sometimes that alignment requires us to move through discomfort, to face our fears, to challenge our limitations. In doing so, we are assuming the state of one who is capable of growth, of transformation, of manifesting their desires against all odds. Consider for a moment the great figures of history, the spiritual masters, the innovators, the revolutionaries. Did they achieve their greatness by remaining comfortable, by avoiding all suffering? No, they willingly embraced the challenges, the difficulties, the suffering that came with pursuing their vision. They understood that this suffering was not an obstacle to their growth, but the very means by which they would achieve it. So too must we be willing to embrace our own suffering, our own challenges, our own transformative experiences. For in doing so, we are not victims of circumstance, but conscious creators of our own evolution. We are God in action, shaping our reality through our willingness to grow, to change, to become more than we currently are. Now, let us delve deeper into the nature of this suffering. It is not physical pain or external hardship that I speak of, though these may sometimes be part of our journey. No, the suffering I refer to is primarily internal. It is the discomfort of challenging our own beliefs, of questioning our assumptions. This suffering might manifest as the anxiety you feel when you step out of your comfort zone. It might be the sense of loss you experience as you let go of old identities or relationships that no longer serve your growth. It might be the confusion and uncertainty that comes with questioning long-held beliefs or ways of being. But here's the beautiful truth, my dear friends. This suffering is temporary. It is a bridge, a passage, a transformative process. On the other side of this suffering lies growth, expansion, and a deeper realization of your true nature. Think of it like this. When you exercise your physical body, you experience discomfort. Your muscles strain, your breath becomes labored, you may even feel pain. But it is through this very discomfort that your body grows stronger, more resilient, more capable. The suffering is temporary, but the growth, the transformation is lasting. So too is it with our spiritual and personal growth. The discomfort we feel as we challenge our limitations, as we step into new ways of being, as we align ourselves with our highest vision, this discomfort is the very means by which we grow, is the resistance against which we push to become stronger, more aligned. But remember, my beloved, you are not alone in this process. For the God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is always with you, always supporting you, always guiding you towards your highest good. This God power within you knows the end from the beginning. It sees the magnificent butterfly even as you struggle within the chrysalis. So, as you embrace the suffering that comes with growth, I urge you to lean on this inner power. Use your imagination to see beyond the current discomfort, to hold fast to the vision of what you are becoming. For as you hold this vision, as you assume the feeling of already being that which you desire to be, you set in motion the forces that will bring this vision into reality. Now, let us address a common misconception. Some may hear this teaching and think that it advocates for a life of constant struggle, of unending hardship. But this is not so. The suffering I speak of is purposeful, intentional. It is not about seeking out pain or difficulty for its own sake, but about being willing to move through discomfort for the sake of your growth, your evolution, your self-realization. Moreover, as you embrace this approach to growth, as you become more comfortable with the discomfort of transformation, you will find that your capacity for joy, for peace, for fulfillment actually expands. For you are no longer at the mercy of external circumstances, no longer limited by your fears or doubts. You become free to fully express your divine nature, to live from a place of power and purpose. Consider that. Have you ever achieved something significant, something that required great effort and perseverance? Perhaps you completed a challenging project, overcame a fear, or mastered a new skill. Remember the sense of accomplishment, the joy, the expanded sense of self that came with this achievement. This is the fruit of growth through suffering. The discomfort you experienced in the process was temporary, but the growth, the expansion, the realization of your capabilities, these are lasting. My dear friends, I invite you to embrace this truth. To grow, you must suffer. But know that this suffering is not a punishment, not a burden, but a gift. It is the means by which you shed your limitations, realize your potential, and step into the fullness of your divine nature. As you go forth from here, I encourage you to look at the challenges in your life with new eyes. See them not as obstacles to be avoided, but as opportunities for growth, for transformation, for the expression of your divine nature. Ask yourselves, what am I being called to let go of? What comfort zone am I being invited to step out of? What aspect of my divine nature is seeking expression through this challenge? And as you contemplate these questions, remember that you have within you the power to choose your response. You can choose to shrink back, to avoid the discomfort, to remain as you are. Or you can choose to lean in, to embrace the challenge, to willingly step into the chrysalis of transformation. My beloved, I urge you to choose the latter. For in doing so, you are choosing to align yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are choosing to be an active participant in your own evolution, in the unfolding of your divine nature. Now, let us delve deeper into the practical application of this principle. How do we actually embrace suffering for the sake of growth? How do we navigate the discomfort of transformation while maintaining our faith in the process? First and foremost, we must cultivate awareness. We must become conscious observers of our own thoughts, feelings, and reactions. When you encounter a challenge or a difficulty, pause. Take a breath. Observe your initial reaction. Do you feel fear? Resistance? A desire to retreat to what's familiar and comfortable. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment. They are natural responses of your current self, your current state of consciousness. But remember, you are not bound by these reactions. You have the power to choose your response. In that moment of awareness, you have the opportunity to make a conscious choice. Will you allow your fear or discomfort to dictate your actions? Or will you choose to move forward, to embrace the challenge as an opportunity for growth? This choice, my dear friends, is where your power lies. It is in this moment that you can align yourself with your highest vision, with the divine nature within you. It is here that you can choose to suffer, to move through discomfort for the sake of your growth. But how do we find the strength to make this choice, especially when the discomfort feels overwhelming? This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. For as I have always taught, your imagination is your direct link to the divine, to the creative power of the universe. So, in that moment of choice, I invite you to use your imagination. Close your eyes and see yourself as you wish to be. Feel the strength, the courage, the divine power flowing through you. Imagine yourself moving through the challenge with grace and ease, growing stronger and more aligned with each step. As you hold this image in your mind, as you feel the reality of it in your body, you are tapping into the God power within you. You are aligning yourself with a version of you that has already overcome this challenge, that has already grown through this suffering. From this aligned state, you will find the strength to embrace the discomfort, to move forward despite your fears or doubts. For you are no longer acting from your limited current self, but from the expanded divine self that you are in the process of becoming. Now, as you begin to consciously choose growth through suffering, you may find that your perception of suffering itself begins to shift. What once seemed like insurmountable obstacles may begin to appear as stepping stones on your path of evolution. The discomfort you feel may begin to be tinged with excitement, with the anticipation of the growth and expansion that lies on the other side. This shift in perception is a sign of your growing alignment with your divine nature. For from the perspective of your highest self, all experiences, even those we might label as suffering, are opportunities for growth, for the expression of your true nature. But, my dear friends, I must caution you. This path of conscious growth, of willingly embracing suffering for the sake of your evolution, is not always easy. There will be times when you falter, when the discomfort seems too great, when you long to retreat to the familiar and comfortable. In these moments, be gentle with yourself. Remember that you are in the process of a profound transformation. Just as the caterpillar might struggle within the chrysalis, so too will you have moments of doubt, of fear. But here's the beautiful truth. Even in these moments of struggle, you are growing. Even when you feel lost or overwhelmed, the process of transformation is still unfolding within you. For the very act of choosing this path, of willingly stepping into the chrysalis of transformation has set in motion forces beyond your current understanding. So, in those difficult moments, I urge you to return to your imagination. See yourself as the butterfly you are becoming. Feel the strength, the beauty, the freedom that awaits you on the other side of this transformation. Let this vision sustain you, guide you, pull you forward even when the path seems dark or uncertain. And remember, my beloved, you are never alone in this process. The God within you, your own wonderful human imagination, is always with you, always supporting you, always guiding you towards your highest good. Lean on this inner power. Trust in the process. Have faith in your own divine nature and its ability to carry you through any challenge, any suffering, toward your ultimate growth and realization. Now let's address another aspect of this principle: the role of resistance in our growth process. You see, when we decide to grow, when we choose to step out of our comfort zones and embrace the suffering that comes with transformation, we often encounter resistance. This resistance can come from within ourselves, in the form of doubts, fears, or old habits. It can also come from the world around us, from people or circumstances that seem to oppose our growth. It is a profound truth. This resistance is not an obstacle to our growth. In fact, it is an essential part of the growth process. Just as a seed must push against the soil to sprout and grow, so too must we push against resistance to realize our full potential. Think of it this way: if there were no resistance, no challenge, no suffering to move through, how would we grow? How would we discover the depths of our strength, the extent of our capabilities, the true nature of our divine selves? So when you encounter resistance on your path of growth, do not be discouraged. Instead, see it as a sign that you are on the right track. See it as an opportunity to flex your spiritual muscles, to deepen your commitment to your growth, to more fully embody your divine nature. And remember, my dear friends, that your response to this resistance is a choice. You can choose to see it as an insurmountable obstacle, as a reason to give up or turn back. Or you can choose to see it as a teacher, as a catalyst for your growth, as the very means by which you will become more than you currently are. Again, this is where the power of your imagination comes into play. When you encounter resistance, use your God-given power of imagination to see beyond it. Imagine yourself moving through the resistance with ease and grace. Feel the strength and determination flowing through you. See yourself emerging on the other side stronger, wiser, more fully aligned with your true nature. As you hold this image in your mind, as you assume the feeling of having already overcome the resistance, you set in motion the forces that will make this vision a reality. For remember, your imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the creative power of the universe expressing itself through you. Now, let us delve into another crucial aspect of this principle: the importance of faith in the growth process. When we choose to grow through suffering, when we willingly step into the chrysalis of transformation, we are often stepping into the unknown. We cannot always see the end from the beginning. We cannot always know exactly how we will emerge on the other side. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, not passive acceptance, but an active, living faith in the divine process of growth and transformation. A faith in your own divine nature and its ability to guide you through any challenge, any suffering towards your ultimate good. This faith, my beloved, is not something outside of you. It is not something you need to acquire or earn. It is an inherent part of your divine nature, a natural expression of the God within you. To access this faith, you need only to turn within, to connect with the deepest part of yourself, the part that knows the truth of who you are and what you are capable of becoming. So, as you embrace the suffering that comes with growth, I urge you to cultivate this faith. Nurture it through your imagination, through your conscious choice to trust in the process even when you cannot see the outcome. Let this faith be your anchor in moments of doubt, your light in times of darkness. And remember, this faith is not about believing that everything will always be easy or comfortable. It's about trusting that everything you experience, including the suffering, the challenges, the resistance, is ultimately serving your growth, your evolution, your self-realization. Now let us address a question that may be arising in your minds. Neville, how do we discern between the suffering that leads to growth and needless suffering that only holds us back? This, my dear friends, is a crucial distinction. For not all suffering leads to growth. There is suffering that comes from resistance to what is, from holding on to what no longer serves us, from refusing to align with our true nature. This kind of suffering does not lead to growth, but to stagnation and frustration. The suffering that leads to growth, on the other hand, is always aligned with your highest vision for yourself. It is the discomfort that comes from stepping out of your comfort zone, from challenging your limitations, from aligning yourself more fully with your divine nature. This suffering has a purpose, a direction, a transformative power. To discern between these two types of suffering, you must cultivate deep self-awareness. You must be willing to honestly examine your motivations, your desires, your fears. Ask yourself, is this suffering moving me towards my highest vision for myself? Is it challenging me to grow, to expand, to more fully embody my divine nature? Or is it keeping me stuck, repeating old patterns, resisting my own evolution? In conclusion, my beloved, remember this. To grow, you must suffer. But this suffering is not a punishment, not a burden, but a gift. It is the means by which you shed your limitations, realize your potential, and step into the fullness of your divine nature. Embrace it with courage, with faith, with the knowledge that on the other side of this suffering lies a version of you that is more aligned, more powerful, more fully expressive of your true divine self. Go forth and grow, my dear friends. The universe awaits your blossoming.
The secret I am about to share with you is this. Your imagination is the creative power of the universe, and what you assume to be true will invariably manifest in your reality. This is not metaphor or allegory, but the very foundation of existence itself. You are not merely experiencing reality, you are creating it in every moment through the power of your assumptions and beliefs. Now you might be wondering, Neville, if this is true, why am I not already living my ideal life? And therein lies the crux of our discussion today. Most people are unaware of this creative power within them. They live their lives reacting to external circumstances, not realizing that these very circumstances are the outpicturing of their inner states. You see, the world you experience is not happening to you. It is happening from you. Every circumstance, every event, every interaction in your life is a reflection of your inner assumptions. These assumptions are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And just as a seed grows into a plant, your assumptions grow into your experienced reality. This is why many people find themselves stuck in patterns of lack, of struggle, of not enoughness. They have unknowingly been planting these seeds in their subconscious mind through years of repetitive thoughts and feelings of limitation. But here's the liberating truth. You have the power to choose what seeds you plant. You have the ability to consciously assume the state of your wish fulfilled, regardless of your current circumstances. So how do we begin this process of conscious creation? The first step is to clearly define what you wish to experience. Be specific. Don't simply say, I want to be successful. Instead, imagine in vivid detail what your life looks like when you are living your ideal reality. How do you feel? What are you doing? How do you spend your time? The more specific and detailed your vision, the more clearly you communicate with your subconscious mind. Once you have this clear vision, the next step is to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. This is crucial. You must feel the reality of your desire now, not in some distant future. Remember, your subconscious mind doesn't understand time. It only understands the present moment. So if you constantly feel that your desire is something in the future, it will always remain in the future. Instead, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled now. How would you feel if your desire were already realized? Would you feel joyful, confident, free, grateful? Embody these feelings. Live from this state of being. This is not pretending or lying to yourself. This is assuming a new state of consciousness, which is the very essence of creation. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I feel something that isn't yet true? This is where the power of your imagination comes into play. Your imagination is the bridge between your current reality and your desired state. It is through your imagination that you can step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even before it manifests in the physical world. Your imagination is not a flight of fancy or a frivolous faculty. It is the very workshop wherein you fashion your future. When you imagine, you are experiencing reality at its most fundamental level. You are engaging with the pure potential of consciousness, shaping it with your attention and your assumption. To use your imagination effectively, you must first quiet your conscious mind. The chattering of your daily thoughts, your worries, your doubts, these must be silenced. Enter a state of relaxation, a state akin to sleep, but in which you remain consciously aware. In this state, your subconscious mind becomes more receptive to impression. Once in this relaxed state, construct your scene. This scene should be one that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If your desire is for a successful career, you might imagine yourself in your ideal office or receiving congratulations from colleagues. If it's financial abundance you seek, imagine yourself looking at your bank statement with joy and gratitude. The scene itself should be short and simple. It's not about creating an elaborate story, but about capturing a moment that implies your desire is now a fact. This scene is your platform, the stage upon which you will enact the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Now, step into this scene. Don't watch it as a spectator, but experience it from the first-person perspective. Be there in that moment. And as you experience it, let the feeling of fulfillment wash over you. Feel the gratitude, the joy, the satisfaction of having your desire realized. This is where many falter in their attempts at manifestation. They can see the scene clearly, but they fail to evoke the feeling. Remember, it is the feeling that gives life to your imaginal act. Without feeling, visualization is merely a mental exercise. With feeling, it becomes an act of creation. As you practice this, you may find that the feeling comes more easily with repetition. Each time you return to your scene, the feeling becomes more vivid, more real. This is good. You are strengthening the impression upon your subconscious mind. But here's a crucial point. Once you have evoked the feeling, once you have impressed it upon your subconscious, you must carry it with you into your waking life. This is where many stumble. They do their visualization exercise. They feel it intensely in the moment. But then they return to their daily life and fall back into old patterns of thought and feeling. To manifest your desire to keep winning, you must maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state. When you truly grasp this, you will no longer be swayed by appearances. You will know that what you see around you is the effect, not the cause. The cause lies in your consciousness, in your feeling. And as you persist in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your outer world must reshape itself to match this inner conviction. Now let us address a common challenge in this practice, the apparent contradictions of your senses. As you begin to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you may find that your current circumstances seem to contradict your assumption. How do you maintain your feeling in the face of these seeming contradictions? This is where the art of ignoring comes into play. To ignore is not to deny the existence of something, but to refrain from giving it your attention and energy. When contradictory evidence appears, acknowledge it briefly, then immediately return your attention to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Remember, what you see in your outer world is the result of past assumptions, past feelings. It is like an echo of what you once believed. Your task now is to give more attention, more importance, more reality to your new assumption than to these outdated circumstances. This practice requires mental discipline. It requires you to stand firm in your new assumption even when your senses argue against it. But remember, your senses only show you what has been, not what can be. Your imagination, informed by your feelings, shows you what will be. As you persist in maintaining the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even in the face of contradictory evidence, you will begin to see changes in your outer world. These changes may start small. A fortunate coincidence, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in someone's behavior towards you. Do not dismiss these as mere chance. They are the first fruits of your new assumption taking root. Now let us delve deeper into the nature of feeling and manifestation. When I speak of feeling, I am not referring merely to impatience, though emotions play a part. I am speaking of a deeper sense, a knowing, an unshakable conviction. It is the difference between saying I want to be successful and knowing in the very core of your being I am successful. This feeling conviction is not something you can fake or force. It arises naturally when you have successfully impressed your desire upon your subconscious mind. This is why the repeated use of your imagination is so crucial. Each time you return to your imaginal scene, each time you step into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are deepening this impression. Think of it like wearing a groove in a record. The first time you play the record, the needle may skip and jump. But with repeated plays, the groove deepens and the music plays smoothly. Similarly, as you repeat your imaginal act, the feeling becomes more natural, more habitual. It becomes your dominant state. This is the state from which creation occurs. When you can maintain this feeling conviction throughout your day, when it becomes as natural as breathing, you have mastered the art of conscious creation. Your outer world has no choice but to conform to this inner state. This is the secret to never-ending winning. But what are those moments when doubt creeps in? When fear arises? When the old patterns of thought and feeling try to reassert themselves? These moments are inevitable, especially in the beginning of your practice. Do not be discouraged by them. Instead, see them as opportunities to strengthen your new assumption. When doubt arises, do not fight it. Fighting against the thought only gives it more power. Instead, gently but firmly return to your feeling of wish fulfilled. Remind yourself that what you see around you is the past. Your new assumption, your new feeling is creating your future. This brings us to another crucial aspect of winning, the concept of living in the end. Living in the end means assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled in your day-to-day life. It's not enough to visualize for a few minutes each day and then return to your old patterns of thought and feeling. You must carry the feeling of your wish fulfilled with you throughout your day. This doesn't mean you deny your current circumstances. Rather, you acknowledge them briefly, then immediately return to the feeling of your desire fulfilled. You live from the assumption that what you desire is already yours. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, you would feel the security, freedom, and joy of wealth as you go about your day. When you make purchases, you would feel the ease and confidence of someone who has more than enough. When you interact with others, you would carry yourself with the assurance of a wealthy person. Living in the end requires a shift in your entire way of being. It's not about pretending or play acting. It's about genuinely assuming a new state of consciousness. When you do this effectively, you'll find that your actions naturally align with your assumed state, accelerating the manifestation process. Now let us address the role of action in this process of continuous winning. Some people mistakenly believe that manifesting means they can simply imagine their desires and then sit back and wait for them to magically appear. This is not the case. The secret to never-ending winning does not negate action, it informs action. When you successfully impress your desire upon your subconscious mind, When you truly feel your wish fulfilled, you will be inspired to take actions that align with this state. These actions will feel natural, even inevitable. They will not be driven by fear or lack, but will flow from your assumed state of fulfillment. This is a crucial distinction. When you take action from a place of lack, trying to get what you desire, you are actually affirming the assumption of not having it. But when you take action from the assumption of already having your desire fulfilled, you open yourself to infinite possibilities for its expression and expansion. So do not neglect action, but ensure that your actions are aligned with and flowing from your assumed state. Let your feeling guide your actions, rather than hoping your actions will create the feeling. This alignment of inner state and outer action is key to continuous winning. Now let us explore the concept of detachment in relation to winning. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care about your desire. Rather, it means you're not anxiously attached to seeing immediate results or figuring out how your desire will manifest. When you're detached, you can imagine and feel your desire fulfilled without constantly looking for signs of its manifestation. You trust in the process, knowing that as you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it must inevitably express itself in your outer world. Detachment allows you to live in the present moment while holding your assumed state. It frees you from the anxiety and doubt that can slow down the manifestation process. It allows you to enjoy the journey of manifestation rather than being solely focused on the destination. Practice detachment by reminding yourself that your imaginal act, imbued with feeling, is the reality. What you see in the outer world is just a shadow, a reflection of past assumptions. As you persist in your new assumption, this shadow must change to match the new reality you're imagining and feeling. Let us now address the importance of gratitude in continuous winning. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion, it is a powerful creative force. When you feel genuinely grateful, you are affirming that you already have what you desire. This aligns perfectly with the principle of living in the end. Begin to cultivate an attitude of gratitude for your desire, even before you see it manifested in your physical reality. Be thankful for it as if it were already yours. Feel appreciation for the abundance that surrounds you in all forms, the air you breathe, the sun that shines, the food you eat. As you practice gratitude, you are assuming the state of someone who has their desire fulfilled. This assumption, persistently held, must manifest in your outer world as the realization of your desire. This is another key to never-ending winning. Now let us explore the power of revision in manifesting continuous wins. Revision is not merely about changing your memories or rewriting your past. It is about recognizing that the past only exists in your mind, and therefore it can be changed in your mind. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review the events of your day. If there were any events that were not to your liking, revise them in your imagination. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desired state. Feel the satisfaction, the joy, the fulfillment of this revised version of events. By doing this, you are not denying what physically happened. You are changing the impact of that event on your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon your subconscious a reality that aligns with your desires rather than one that contradicts them. As you make this practice of revision a habit, you will find that your reactions to current events begin to change. You'll become less reactive, more peaceful, more aligned with your desired states of being. This alignment accelerates the manifestation process, ensuring that you continue to win in all areas of life. Let us now discuss the importance of persistence in continuous winning. While we speak of manifesting desires, it's important to understand that the speed of manifestation can vary. Some desires may manifest almost instantly, while others may take more time. The key is to persist in your assumption, regardless of how long it seems to be taking. Remember The outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you waive an assumption, if you lose faith in the process, you send mixed signals to your subconscious mind, which can slow down the manifestation process. Persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means consistently returning to the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when the outer world seems to contradict it. It means choosing again and again to live from the end, to embody the state of having your desire realized. This persistence requires faith, not blind faith, but faith born of understanding. Understanding that your outer world is a reflection of your inner state, and that as you persist in your new assumption, your world must reshape itself to match it. Now let us address the role of self-concept in continuous winning. Your self-concept, the beliefs you hold about who you are, is perhaps the most powerful factor in determining what you can manifest in your life. Many people struggle to manifest their desires because their self-concept contradicts what they're trying to achieve. They may visualize wealth, but deep down, they don't believe they're the kind of person who can be wealthy. They may imagine a loving relationship, but fundamentally believe they're unworthy of love. To win continuously, you must be willing to revise your self-concept. This involves imagining and feeling yourself as the person who already has what you desire. It's not about creating a false image of yourself, but about recognizing and embracing your true, limitless nature. Remember, at your core, you are pure consciousness. You are not defined by your past experiences, your current circumstances, or the opinions of others. You are the awareness in which all these things appear. And this awareness, your true self, is infinite in its potential. As you use your imagination to assume your desired states, you are essentially recreating yourself. You are stepping into a new concept of self, a new understanding of who you are and what's possible for you. This revision of self-concept is crucial for continuous winning. As you align your self-concept with your desires, you remove the inner contradictions that can slow down the manifestation process. Now let us explore the role of emotion in never-ending winning. Emotion is the fuel that powers your imaginal acts. It's not enough to merely visualize or think about your desires. You must feel them. When you combine vivid imagination with genuine emotion, you create a powerful impression on your subconscious mind. This is because your subconscious responds more strongly to feeling than to intellectual thought. The emotions you want to cultivate are those you would feel if your desire were already realized. If your desire is for wealth, feel the security, the freedom, the joy that comes with financial abundance. If it's a loving relationship you seek, feel the love, the connection, the companionship. These emotions should be so real, so intense, that when you open your eyes and return to your present circumstances, you carry with you a sense of fulfillment, as if your desire has already been realized. This emotional component is what distinguishes effective manifestation from mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. When you can genuinely feel your desire as an accomplished fact, you are impressing it upon your subconscious mind as a reality. Your subconscious then works tirelessly to bring this feeling into physical manifestation, ensuring your continuous winning. As we near the conclusion of our exploration, remember this: the power to win continuously lies within you. It resides in your ability to imagine vividly, to feel deeply, and to persist faithfully in the assumption of your wish fulfilled. The secret to never-ending winning is not determined by external factors, but by the intensity of your belief and the consistency of your imaginal acts. Go forth from here with this knowledge. Apply these principles in your daily life. Use your imagination consciously and deliberately to create scenes that imply the fulfillment of your desires. Feel the reality of your wish fulfilled with every fiber of your being. Persist in this feeling even when your senses deny it. For as you do, you are reshaping your entire world, manifesting your desires with a consistency that ensures you never stop winning. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are limited only by your ability to imagine and to feel the reality of your wishes fulfilled. Embrace this truth. Live from this understanding and watch as your world transforms around you, reflecting the newfound mastery of your creative consciousness. The secret to never-ending winning is not something external to you. It is not a technique or a trick. It is the fundamental truth of your being, that you are the creator of your reality. As you align your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions with this truth, you step into a state of continuous creation, of perpetual winning. In your daily life, be vigilant. Be conscious of your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions. Choose them wisely, for they are the seeds of your future experiences. Let every thought be a thought of victory, every feeling a feeling of accomplishment, every assumption an assumption of success. For in doing so, you are creating a life of never-ending winning. As you embark on this journey of conscious creation, of continuous winning, know that you are aligning yourself with the very power that creates worlds. You are stepping into your divine birthright as a co-creator of reality. Embrace this power, use it wisely, and let it guide you to a life of unending success and fulfillment. Thank you, and may your journey of conscious creation be filled with joy, wonder, and the thrill of never-ending winning. Tonight I shall share with you the most profound secret of creation, how to speak blessings upon yourself and instantly transform your entire world. So you see, when you truly understand how to bless yourself, you are engaging in the highest form of creation. So you are doing what God does continuously. Consider the first chapter of Genesis, where God speaks blessings upon his creation. Notice how he didn't ask anyone else to bless his work. He blessed it himself. This is the pattern you must follow, for you are that same creative power individualized as you. Let me share with you why blessing yourself is the most powerful act you can perform. First, you must understand that when you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are not engaging in mere positive thinking or affirmations. You are exercising your divine creative power, for you are God individualized as you. Many of you come to me seeking blessings from others, from teachers, from gurus, from religious leaders. But I tell you now, no one can bless you more powerfully than you can bless yourself. For you are the operant power in your world, and your word is the creative power of God in action. When you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are doing what God did in the beginning. Remember the words, and God blessed them. He didn't wait for someone else to bless his creation. He blessed it himself. And you, being made in his image and likeness, must do the same. Let me share with you the proper way to speak blessings upon yourself. First, you must understand that when you say, I bless myself, you are not speaking as a mortal being. You are speaking as God individualized. For your I am is God. And when you speak blessings from your I am, you are speaking with all the power of creation. Consider this: every time you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are literally recreating your world. For your word is God's word, and God's word cannot return void. It must accomplish that which it is sent to do. But and this is crucial, your blessings must be spoken with understanding and feeling. You cannot merely repeat words mechanically and expect results. You must feel the truth of the blessing as you speak it. For feeling is the secret. And without feeling, words are empty. Let me give you a perfect example from Scripture. When Isaac blessed Jacob, he felt the blessing as he spoke it. He wasn't just saying words, he was feeling the reality of what he was declaring. And this is exactly how you must speak blessings upon yourself. Many of you might be thinking, but Neville, isn't it selfish to bless myself? Let me tell you something, it is the most unselfish thing you can do. For when you bless yourself, truly understanding that you are God individualized, you are blessing all of creation. For there is no other. What you see as others is yourself pushed out. Let me share with you how to properly structure your self-blessings. Begin with your I am. For this is the name of God. Then speak your blessing with absolute conviction. For example, I am blessed with perfect health. I am blessed with unlimited abundance. I am blessed with divine wisdom. But remember, these are not mere affirmations. They are acknowledgments of what is already true in consciousness. For when you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are not trying to make something true. You are acknowledging what is already true in the spiritual realm. Consider this principle I have tested and proven countless times. When you bless yourself, you are performing the highest act of creation. For in blessing yourself, you are acknowledging your divine nature, and what you acknowledge must manifest in your experience. Let me share with you the 3 aspects of effective self-blessing. First, there is recognition. When you bless yourself, you must recognize that you speak as God individualized. Not as a mortal being hoping for good, but as the divine creator declaring what is. Second, there is feeling. Your blessings must be accompanied by the feeling of their fulfillment. When you say, I am blessed with perfect health, you must feel the vitality, the strength, the well-being that this blessing implies. For feeling is the secret of creation. Third, there is acceptance. You must accept that your blessing is already fulfilled in consciousness. Not that it will be, not that it might be, but that it is. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you accept in consciousness must externalize itself in your world. Many of you make the mistake of blessing yourself while looking at your current circumstances. But I tell you now, circumstances have no power over your blessings unless you give them that power. Your blessings create circumstances, not the other way around. Let me share with you a profound truth about self-blessing that most of the world has missed. When you bless yourself, you are not asking for something to be given to you. You are acknowledging what is already yours by divine right. For all blessings already exist in consciousness, waiting to be acknowledged and claimed. Consider the words of Scripture before they call. I will answer. This means that every blessing you could ever speak upon yourself already exists in consciousness. Your speaking of the blessing is not creating it. It is acknowledging and claiming what already is. Let me share with you how to maintain the consciousness of your self-blessings throughout your day. Most people speak a blessing and then return to their old patterns of thought. But I tell you now, your blessing must become your constant inner conversation. I think about this carefully. Every time you speak a blessing upon yourself, you are literally rearranging the entire spiritual substance of your universe. For your consciousness is God, and what God blesses must manifest. Let me give you some specific blessings that I have found particularly powerful. First, I am blessed with perfect understanding of my own divine nature. This blessing opens the door to all other blessings, for when you truly understand your divine nature, all things become possible. Second, I am blessed with the constant awareness of my creative power. This blessing keeps you mindful of your true identity as God individualized. For you see, most people forget their divine nature and slip back into mortal thinking. Third, I am blessed with the ability to see past appearances to the truth of being. This blessing helps you maintain your focus on the reality of consciousness rather than the shadows of circumstances. Consider how these blessings work together. Each one strengthens the others, creating a powerful foundation for all your other blessings. For when you truly understand your divine nature, are aware of your creative power, and can see past appearances, you become a master of conscious creation. Many of you may be wondering how often to speak these blessings. Let me tell you something. It's not about frequency, it's about consciousness. One blessing spoken with complete understanding and feeling is worth more than 1,000 spoken mechanically. Let me share with you another principle about self-blessing that most people miss. When you bless yourself, You are not speaking to yourself as a mortal being. You are speaking as God to his creation. For you are both the blesser and the blessed, the creator and the creation. Think about this carefully. When God said, "Let there be light," he didn't doubt whether it was possible. He didn't wonder about the process. He simply declared it and knew it was done. This is exactly how you must speak your blessings upon yourself. Consider the power in this understanding. When you say, "I am blessed," you are speaking with the same authority that created the universe. For your I am is the same I am that spoke all things into being. Let me share with you how to handle doubts when they arise after speaking your blessings, and they will arise. Many of you speak a blessing upon yourself and then immediately begin to question whether it will work. But I tell you now, doubt is simply your former consciousness trying to maintain its position. Consider what happens in nature when you plant a seed. The seed doesn't doubt whether it will become what it is meant to be. It simply begins its transformation according to its nature. Your blessings work the same way. They are spiritual seeds planted in the fertile soil of consciousness. Let me give you a deeper understanding of how this works. When you say, I am blessed with perfect health," for example, you have planted a seed in consciousness. Now, just as a physical seed needs time to sprout and grow, your blessing needs time to externalize itself in your world. And this is crucial, while the outer manifestation may take and change in consciousness is immediate when the blessing is properly spoken. For you see, the moment you speak a blessing with understanding and feeling, you have altered the entire spiritual substance of your universe. Many of you may be thinking, "But Neville, I've spoken blessings before and nothing changed." Let me tell you something my teacher Abdullah taught me. Nothing changes because you spoke the words. Things change because you became what you declare. Let me share with you another principle about self-blessing that most of the world has missed. When you bless yourself, you are not trying to influence God to give you something. You are exercising your divine power as God individualized. For your consciousness is God and your word is his word. Consider the story of the prodigal son. Notice how the father didn't wait for someone else to bless his returning son. He blessed him himself. This is exactly what you must do. You must be both the father giving the blessing and the son receiving it. This brings me to a deeper truth about self-blessing. When you say, "I am blessed," you are acknowledging both your divine nature, I am, and your human experience, blessed. You are bringing heaven and earth together in your consciousness. Let me share with you what I call the 7 pillars of self-blessing. These are the foundational principles that must be understood if your blessings are to have their full creative power. The first pillar is recognition. You must recognize that you are the one who blesses. Not your personality, not your mortal self, but your I am. For when you say, "I am blessed," you are speaking as God individualized, not as a mortal being seeking favors. The second pillar is authority. When you bless yourself, you must speak with complete authority. Consider how God speaks in Scripture, not with doubt, not with hesitation, but with absolute authority. Let there be light. These are words of complete authority. The third pillar is feeling. Your blessings must be accompanied by the feeling of fulfillment. Not the feeling of wanting to be blessed, but the feeling of being blessed. For feeling is the secret, and without the proper feeling, your words lack power. The fourth pillar is present tense. Notice how God never said there will be light. He said, "Let there be light." Your blessings must be spoken in the present tense, for consciousness knows only now. The fifth pillar is persistence. Not the persistence of mechanical repetition, but the persistence of maintaining the consciousness of being blessed. For your blessing must become your dominant state of consciousness. The sixth pillar is understanding. You must understand that your blessing is not creating something new. It is acknowledging what already exists in consciousness. For all blessings already exist in the spiritual realm, waiting to be claimed. And the seventh pillar is gratitude. When you bless yourself, you must feel grateful not for what will come, but for what already is. For gratitude is the evidence of faith, and faith is the substance of things hoped for. Let me share with you how these 7 pillars work together. When you recognize your true identity as God individualized, speak with divine authority, feel the reality of your blessing, maintain present tense awareness, persist in the consciousness, understand the principle, and feel genuine gratitude, your blessing must manifest. Consider how this differs from what most people do. Most people speak blessings from their mortal consciousness, with doubt in their voice, feeling the lack rather than the fulfillment, thinking of future fulfillment, giving up at the first sign of delay, lacking understanding of the principle, and feeling no gratitude until they see results. Let me share with you what I call the 3 stages of self-blessing manifestation. Most people don't understand these stages, and that's why they often give up before their blessings manifest. The first stage is spiritual. This happens instantly when you speak your blessing with understanding and feeling. In this stage, you have literally rearranged the spiritual substance of your universe. This is the most crucial stage, for it is the only stage where real creation takes place. The second stage is mental. This is where your mind begins to align with your blessing. You start to think differently, see opportunities differently, and respond to life differently. Many people mistake this for mere positive thinking, but I tell you now, it is far more than that. It is your consciousness reorganizing itself according to your blessing. The third stage is physical. This is where your outer world begins to reflect your blessing. Now, here's what's fascinating about these stages. They must occur in this order. You cannot skip the spiritual stage and go straight to the physical. You cannot bypass the mental stage and expect outer results. Consider the words of scripture, first the blade, then the ear, after that the full corn in the ear. This is describing these 3 stages. The blade is the spiritual acceptance. The ear is the mental alignment. And the full corn is the physical manifestation. Let me share with you how to recognize when you're in each stage. In the spiritual stage, you feel an inner knowing, a deep peace about your blessing. There might be no outer evidence yet, but you know it is done. In the mental stage, you begin to think thoughts that align with your blessing naturally, without effort. If you've blessed yourself with abundance, for example, you naturally begin to think abundant thoughts. If you've blessed yourself with health, you naturally begin to think healthy thoughts. In the physical stage, your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match your blessing. But, and this is crucial, by the time you reach this stage, you're no longer anxious about it. For you see, you've already experienced the reality of reality in consciousness. Let me give you a deeper understanding of how these stages work together. When you say, I am blessed with perfect health, you instantly create this reality in the spiritual realm. This is stage 1. Then your mind begins to align with this new reality. You begin to think like a healthy person, act like a healthy person, make decisions like a healthy person. This is stage 2. Finally, your body and circumstances begin to reflect this new reality. But by this time, you're no longer desperate to happen, because you've been living in the cosmically conscious, both perfect stages 1 and 2. Many of you make the mistake of looking for physical evidence before you've allowed the spiritual and mental stages to complete their work. But I tell you now, this is like digging up a seed to see if it's growing. You must allow each stage to unfold in its perfect timing. Let me share with you what I call the 4 states of consciousness in self-blessing. Understanding these states is crucial, for your blessing will manifest according to the state from which you speak it. The first state is the state of desire. This is where most people begin. They speak blessings from a consciousness of wanting, of needing, of lacking. But I tell you now, this state cannot produce results, for it perpetuates the very lack it seeks to overcome. The second state is the state of hope. This is better than desire, but still not powerful enough. When you speak blessings from hope, you are acknowledging that fulfillment is possible, but you haven't yet accepted it as fact in consciousness. The third state is the state of faith. Now we're moving into creative power. When you speak blessings from faith, you are speaking with conviction, with certainty, with knowing. But there's an even higher state. The fourth state is the state of knowing. This is the highest state, the state from which God creates. When you speak blessings from this state, you are speaking as God individualized, knowing that what you declare must manifest. Consider how these states progress. In the state of desire, you say, I want to be blessed. In the state of hope, you say, I might be blessed. In the state of faith, you say, I will be blessed. But in the state of knowing, you simply say, I am blessed. Let me share with you how to move from one state to another. The movement from desire to hope happens naturally as you study and understand the law. The movement from hope to faith happens through testing the law and seeing results. But the movement from faith to knowing, this is the crucial transition. The state of knowing comes when you fully realize your own divine nature. When you understand that you are God individualized, that your consciousness is the only reality, that your word is God's word, then you naturally speak blessings from the state of knowing. Many of you may be wondering how to achieve this state of knowing. Let me tell you something, it's not achieved, it's recognized. It's not something you become, it's something you already are. Your task is to remove the veils that hide this truth from your awareness. Let me share with you what I call the 5 proofs of effective self-blessing. These are the signs that tell you your blessing is taking root in consciousness and must therefore manifest in your world. The first proof is peace. When you've spoken a blessing effectively, you feel a deep peace about it. Not the peace of resignation, but the peace of knowing. For you see, when you truly know something is done in consciousness, all anxiety about it disappears. The second proof is naturalness. Your blessing begins to feel natural to you. You no longer have to convince yourself of it. It becomes as natural as breathing, as natural as your own name. The third proof is indifference to appearances. You find yourself unmoved by contradictory circumstances. Not because you're practicing positive thinking, but because you know the reality exists in consciousness, not in appearance. The fourth proof is changed inner conversation. Your habitual thoughts and internal dialogue naturally align with your blessing. You don't have to force it, it happens spontaneously because consciousness always produces thoughts that match its state. The fifth proof is inspired action. You find yourself naturally taking actions that align with your blessing, not from effort or planning, but from an inner prompting that feels completely natural. Remember, dear friends, that speaking blessings upon yourself is not an act of egotism. It is an acknowledgement of your divine nature. For you are God individualized, and your word has all the creative power of the universe behind it when spoken from that understanding. Let the truth of this sink deep into your consciousness. You are blessed, not because someone else blessed you, but because you have recognized and claimed your divine inherent through the power of self-blessing. That's the message I want to leave with you tonight. Not because it's comfortable, but because it's true. Not because it's what you expected to hear, but because it's what you needed to hear. Remember, your blessings create your reality when spoken from the consciousness of who you really are. And isn't that worth thinking about? Imagine, if you will, that your mind is a fertile and your thoughts are the seeds you plant within it. But it is not enough to simply plant these seeds and hope they will grow. No, you must nurture them with the water of your emotions, the sunlight of your belief, and the rich soil of your unwavering faith. This, my friends, is the essence of feeling it until it manifests. Many of you have heard the phrase thoughts become things, but I tell you now that this is only half of the equation. Thoughts alone are but whispers in the wind, easily scattered and forgotten. It is when we infuse our thoughts with the power of feeling, deep, visceral, all-encompassing feeling, that we truly begin to harness the creative force of the universe. Consider for a moment the last time you truly wanted something. Perhaps it was a new job, a loving relationship, or a state of perfect health. Did you simply think about it in passing? Or did you allow yourself to be consumed by the feeling of already having it? Did you taste it, touch it, hear it, see it in your mind's eye with such clarity that it felt more real than the chair you're sitting in right now? This, my friends, is the art of feeling it until it manifests. It is the practice of stepping into the reality of your desire with such conviction that the universe has no choice but to rearrange itself to match your inner state. For you see, the outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, a mirror that shows you the sum total of your deepest beliefs and feelings. Let me share with you a profound truth that has the power to transform your life. Your imagination is the very workshop of God. Within the realm of your mind, you have the ability to create and experience anything you desire. And when you learn to dwell in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you set in motion forces beyond your comprehension that work tirelessly to bring your inner reality into outer expression. But how, you may ask, does one achieve this state of feeling? How does one bridge the gap between mere wishful thinking and the visceral experience of living in the end? The answer, my dear friends, lies in the power of your imagination coupled with the intensity or emotion. Close your eyes for a moment and think of something you deeply desire. Now, instead of simply picturing it in your mind, I want you to step into that reality. Feel the emotions that would course through your body if your desire were already fulfilled. Are you elated? Peaceful? Confident? Allow these feelings to wash over you, to permeate every cell of your being. As you do this, you may notice resistance arising within you. Doubts may creep in, telling you that this is mere fantasy, that you're fooling yourself. But I assure you, these doubts are nothing more than the old patterns of thought that have kept you bound to a limited existence. Acknowledge them, then gently set them aside. For in this moment, as you immerse yourself in the feeling of your fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. Remember, the feeling is the secret. It is not enough to merely visualize or affirm your desire. You must feel it with every fiber of your being. You must live from the end, experiencing your desire as a present fact rather than a future possibility. This is the key that unlocks the door to manifestation. Let me give you an example to illustrate this principle. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Many people make the mistake of focusing on the lack of money in their current reality, constantly worrying about bills and expenses. But this focus on lack only serves to perpetuate more lack. Instead, I urge you to feel the state of abundance now. Close your eyes and imagine how it would feel to have more than enough money. Feel the relief of all financial burdens lifted from your shoulders. Experience the joy of being able to provide for yourself and your loved ones without worry. Sense the freedom that comes with financial security. Allow these feelings to become so real, so tangible, that you can almost touch them. As you persist in this feeling day after day, you will begin to notice subtle shifts in your outer world. Opportunities may arise that you hadn't seen before. Your relationship with money may begin to change. You may find yourself making wiser financial decisions or attracting unexpected windfalls. This is the law of attraction at work, responding to the new vibration you are emitting through your meetings. But here's the crucial point, my friends. You must maintain this feeling regardless of what your current circumstances show you. This is where many falter on the path to manifestation. They allow the apparent reality of their physical senses to override the truth they have claimed in their imagination. But I tell you now, your physical senses show you only the effects of past thoughts and feelings. They do not dictate your future unless you allow them to do so. This is why persistence is key in the art of feeling it and manifests. You must be willing to live in the end, to maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, even when the world around you seems to contradict it. For it is your persistence that demonstrates your faith, and it is your faith that moves mountains. Consider the biblical story of Joshua and the walls of Jericho. For 6 days, Joshua and his army marched around the city walls, maintaining their faith that God would deliver the city into their hands. On the seventh day, they shouted with all their might, and the walls came tumbling down. This story is a powerful metaphor for the principle we are discussing tonight. The walls of Jericho represent the barriers that seem to stand between you and your desires. Your persistent faith, represented by the marching, is the feeling state you must maintain. And the shout on the seventh day symbolizes the final powerful assertion of your belief, the tipping point at which your inner conviction becomes outer reality. So I ask you, what are the walls in your life that seem insurmountable? What desires have you held back from claiming because they seem too big, too impossible? I tell you now, no desire is too grand, no dream too lofty for the power that lies within you. But you must be willing to persist in the feeling of its fulfillment, to march around those walls day after day, maintaining your faith even when there is no outward sign of change. Let us delve deeper into this concept of persistence. Many of you may have tried to apply the principle of feeling it until it manifests, only to give up when results didn't appear as quickly as you hoped. But I urge you to understand that time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of spirit, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is already fulfilled there. It is your persistence in feeling that draws it into your physical experience. Think of it like tuning a radio. Your desire is like a specific frequency that's always broadcasting. By persistently feeling the reality of your desire, you're tuning your personal frequency to match it. At first, you might only get static or glimpses of the station. But as you stay tuned, the signal becomes clearer and stronger until it's playing in full fidelity. This is why it's crucial to make feeling your wish fulfilled a daily practice. Set aside time each day to enter into the state of your desire fulfilled. Make it as vivid and real as possible. Engage all your senses. If your desire is a new home, feel the keys in your hand, smell the fresh paint, hear the sound of your footsteps echoing in the rooms. If it's a successful career, feel the satisfaction of accomplishment, the respect of your peers, the financial rewards that come with it. As you do this, you may find that your outer world begins to reflect glimpses of your inner experience. These are signs that your manifestation is in progress. Celebrate these signs, no matter how small, for they are confirmation that you are on the right track. But do not become attached to them or anxious for more. Simply acknowledge them and return to your feeling state, knowing that more is on its way. Now, let's address a common obstacle that many face on this journey, the influence of others' opinions and the so-called facts of your current reality. You may find that as you begin to live in the feeling of your desire fulfilled, those around you question your sanity. They may point to your current circumstances as proof that your desire is impossible. But remember this, everyone is you pushed out. The doubts and disbelief of others are merely reflections of the doubts that still linger in your own consciousness. This is why it's so important to guard your mental diet. Just as you wouldn't eat spoiled food, you must not consume thoughts and ideas that contradict your desired state. This doesn't mean you should ignore reality. but rather that you should interpret everything through the lens of your wish fulfilled. If someone expresses doubt, silently bless them for playing their part in your manifestation story. For when your desire manifests, their doubt will make your triumph all the sweeter. Let me share with you a powerful technique to help you maintain your desired state, even in the face of contradictory circumstances. It's called revision, and it involves mentally rewriting events that seem to oppose your desire. For example, if you're manifesting financial abundance and you receive an unexpected bill, don't react with worry or frustration. Instead, close your eyes and revise the scene. Imagine opening that same envelope and finding a check instead of a bill. Feel the joy and gratitude of this unexpected windfall. By doing this, you're refusing to give power to the unwanted circumstance and instead reinforcing your desired reality. This practice of revision can be applied to any area of your life. Had a disagreement with a loved one? Revise it in your imagination to a harmonious interaction. Received a rejection letter for a job you wanted? Revise it to an acceptance letter. The key is to feel the revised scene as vividly as you can, infusing it with the emotion you would feel if it actually happened that way. This is not denial of reality, it's the active shaping of your reality through the power of your imagination and feeling. As you become more adept at living in the state of your wish fulfilled, you'll find that your entire perception of the world begins to shift. Things that once seemed like obstacles now appear as opportunities. Coincidences and synchronicities become more frequent. You may even start to feel a sense of déjà vu, as though you're remembering future events rather than experiencing them for the first time. This is a sign that you're aligning more closely with your desired reality. But here's a crucial point to remember as your outer world begins to shift. Do not become complacent. Many make the mistake of relaxing their mental discipline once they see evidence of their desire manifesting. They think it's working now, I can ease up. But this is precisely the time to double down on your feeling state. For manifestation is not a one-time event, but a continuous process of aligning with your desired reality. I think of it like maintaining a garden. You don't plant seeds, water them once, and then ignore the garden. You continue to nurture it, to weed it, to ensure it has everything it needs to thrive. In the same way, you must continue to nurture the feeling of your desire fulfilled, even as it begins to manifest in your outer world. Now, let's address a question that often arises. What about taking action in the physical world? Some teachings emphasize action, while others focus solely on mental work. The truth, as always, lies in balance. Inspired action is a natural outgrowth of living in the state of the wish fulfilled. When you truly feel your desire as a present fact, you'll find yourself naturally taking actions that align with that reality. For example, if you're manifesting a new career, you might feel inspired to update your resume, reach out to contacts in your desired field, or learn new skills relevant to that career. These actions flow naturally from your feeling state, rather than being forced or done out of desperation. This is the difference between inspired action and action born of lack or fear. Remember, the outer world is a mirror of your inner state. As you persistently feel your desires fulfilled, your actions in the physical world will naturally align with that feeling. You won't have to force yourself to take action. Instead, action will feel effortless and natural, as though you're being guided by an invisible hand. This brings us to another important aspect of feeling it until it manifests: detachment from the how. Many people sabotage their manifestations by trying to control every detail of how their desire will come about. But the truth is, the universe has infinite channels through which your desire can manifest, many of which you can't even conceive of with your limited human perspective. Your job is not to figure out how your desire will manifest, but to maintain the feeling of it already being manifest. The how is not your concern. Your only responsibility is to live in the end, to feel the reality of your desire so completely that you're no longer seeking it, but experiencing it as a present fact. This detachment from the how can be challenging, especially for those of us who like to be in control. But it's a necessary step in allowing your manifestation to unfold in the most harmonious and beneficial way possible. Trust that the infinite intelligence of the universe knows far better than your human mind how to bring about your desire in the best possible way. Let's take a moment to address a common concern. What if you're having trouble feeling your desire is real? What if doubt and disbelief keep creeping in? First, understand that this is normal. You're working against years, perhaps lifetimes of conditioning that has taught you to trust only your physical senses. Changing this habit takes time and practice. One powerful technique to overcome doubt is to start with small manifestations. Choose something that feels believable to you, something you can easily feel as real. It could be as simple as manifesting a cup of coffee from a friend, or finding a parking spot in a crowded area. As you successfully manifest these smaller desires, you'll build your confidence and your belief in the process. Another technique is to use imaginal acts. These are short, vivid scenes that imply your desire is already fulfilled. For example, if you're manifesting a romantic relationship, your imaginal act might be feeling your partner's hand in yours as you walk together, or hearing a friend congratulate you on a wonderful relationship. The key is to make these scenes as vivid and real as possible, engaging all your senses and the accompanying emotions. Repeat these imaginal acts multiple times throughout the day, especially upon waking and before sleep. These times are particularly potent because your subconscious mind is more receptive then. As you fall asleep, carry the feeling of your wish fulfilled into your dreams. Many report significant breakthroughs in their manifestations after consistently practicing this nighttime technique. Now, let's explore the role of gratitude in feeling it until it manifests. Gratitude is not just a nice sentiment, it's a powerful force that aligns you with the frequency feeling. When you're grateful for something, you're acknowledging that you have it. This is why it's so important to cultivate gratitude, not just for what you already have in your physical reality, but for your desires as though they're already manifest. Each day, take time to feel deep gratitude for your desire as though it's already yours. Feel the emotion of thankfulness wash over you. This gratitude serves two purposes. It reinforces your feeling of already having your desire, and it puts you in a high vibrational state that attracts more things to be grateful for. Remember, the universe doesn't distinguish between what you're grateful for in your physical reality and what you're grateful for in your imagination. Your feelings of gratitude are equally powerful in both cases. So don't wait to feel grateful until your desire manifests physically. Feel that gratitude now and watch how it accelerates your manifestation. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a vital point: the importance of self-love and worthiness in the manifestation process. Many people struggle to manifest their desires because deep down they don't believe they're worthy of receiving them. But I tell you now, worthiness is your birthright. You are a divine being created in the image and likeness of God. There is nothing you cannot be, do, or have. If you find yourself struggling with feelings of unworthiness, make self-love a priority in your manifestation practice. Spend time each day acknowledging your inherent worth, independent of any external achievements or possessions. Feel deep love and appreciation for yourself, just as you are. As you cultivate this self-love, you'll find it easier to feel worthy of your desires, and thus easier to feel them as real. In conclusion, my dear friends, remember this: feeling it until it manifests is not just a technique, but a way of life. It's a commitment to living from the end, to experiencing your desires as present facts rather than future possibilities. It requires persistence, faith, and a willingness to see beyond the illusions of the physical world to the truth of your inner being. As you leave here tonight, I challenge you to choose one desire, one dream that you've held in your heart. Commit to feeling it as real, to living in that state day and night, regardless of what your outer circumstances show you. Persist in this feeling, nurture it with your attention and emotion, and watch as the universe moves to make it your physical reality. Remember, you are not a helpless being pushed around by circumstances. You are a divine creator, shaping your reality with every thought and feeling. The power to manifest your deepest desires lies within you, waiting to be awakened by the intensity of your feeling and the persistence of your faith. Go forth and create the life you desire, for it is already yours in the realm of infinite possibilities. Feel it, believe it, live in it, and it shall be yours in this physical realm. The world is your mirror, reflecting back to you the sum total of your deepest beliefs and feelings. So feel it until it manifests, and watch as your world transforms before your very eyes. May you go in peace. Kabir Chaikwal's response was limited as it hit the maximum length allowed at this time.